Okay. Okay. Hopefully, I'm live now, and you can all hear me. Neptune Returns is already in the chat box, so obviously the actual window opened before I went live. But hope you can you hear me? Neptune Returns. Can you hear my voice? Okay. And let people know that that's the case, because I've had problems with the microphone before, and it was always a bit tricky beforehand. But let me know if as long as you can hear me, because if not, I have to start again. I had a load of bloody problems last time. Am I loud and clear? All right. Hello, Anthony. Can you hear me, Anthony? Am I audible? How are you? Can hear you. Okay. Oh, thanks, Woody Black. That's great. So Anthony Woody Black is here. That's really, really cool. So welcome to this live stream, the Oumuamua Livestream. So thanks for joining me, everyone. Really, really good of you to do so. Anthony Morn, thanks, Anthony. Just checking, just a little sound test there at the beginning, just to be on the safe side. Now, some people writing to me, and several people mentioned about something else came up exactly at the time when I was planning this live stream, and that was the QAnon video, the new QAnon video, the plan to save the world. And I watched that, and I suddenly realized it'd be good to do a live stream about that too. But I would already made some notes for the Oumuamua live stream, so I decided I'd go ahead with the Oumuamua live stream tonight and do the QAnon one another night. Now, when I say another night, I'd like to be able to do it the following night or something, but I can't. I don't have time, because I'm off to Newcastle on Wednesday for my little tour up there, which means I've got to be preparing for that. So that's an unfortunate unfortunately means I won't have time to do another live stream until I get back, which will be Sunday. But I'm off to the UFO Academy, the Awake and Aware conference on Sunday, so I won't be able to. It'll be after that, so it's going to be about a week before I get another chance to do another live stream or any other kind of video. I'll record some videos in Newcastle. I'll record some videos at Watford too. Hello, Chile, and hello, GS Evolved. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. So we've got Anthony Morn, Neptune Returns, Woody Black, Chile, GS. That's nice. We've already got a load of people I'm familiar with. I know those people. I've just shared this on social media, so we're all set to go. Right. So what I'll do is I'll just run through the notes I've got, and just as a lead off to the discussion, if you post some comments now, I won't be able to answer them until after I finish reading through the notes, which will take a while. And then after that, I'll be happy to talk about whatever you want talking about. If I don't see your comments, I will scroll up to see if I'll go to all the other comments. But if not, if you don't answer them and you really want to ask me, just repeat them. Okay. But so we're going to discuss Oumuamua. Now, Oumuamua is a strange name. What does it mean? Well, it's described as a mildly active comet and the first known interstellar object to pass through the solar system. So it's an astronomical term. Now, this is it was formally designated 1I 2017 U1 and discovered by Robert Werrick using the Pan-STARRS telescope at the Haleakala Observatory, Hawaii, on the 19th of October 2017. So this is 40 days after it passed its closest point of approach to the sun. So that's an important point, because it didn't come very close to the Earth, but it did come closer before it was actually discovered. You may think that's unreasonable, because, well, why didn't they see it when it was closer? It's just basically because they have to go through all the data they gather, and there's a bit of a backlog of data processing when it comes to astronomy, because there's so much out there to look at. So the only real pictures of this particular object show grainy light streaks. So there's no real picture of this object. It's too small. It's too far away. Its closest point of approach to the Earth was 9 million miles, which is a long way. It's 37 times the distance of the moon. And as I said, it was well past that point when it was spotted, traveling at over 30 miles a second relative to the sun. That's well over 3 times the average speed of an orbiting asteroid. And that's why astronomers knew it had to be interstellar, because it's moving too fast to be in solar orbit, according to orbital mechanics, Kepler's laws, etc. This, incidentally, is another reason why Nibiru cannot possibly exist. But I'm not going to go there now. I've done other videos on that. So yeah, this is Now, I know about these sort of things because I do a weekly space weather report on Hapanwo Radio. If you ever listen to the Hapanwo show, which usually goes out Thursday night, so not this Thursday because I'll be away, you have I do a space weather report as part of my show. And I talk about asteroids, I talk about the various kinds of asteroids and things that are around the Earth, as well as solar flares and stuff like that. So when Oumuamua was first spotted by a telescope, it was already 21 million miles away from the Earth, 85 times as far away as the Moon, almost as far as Venus. The planet Venus is closest. Venus's closest point of approach to the Earth is 98 times as far as the Moon. It's known as a lunar distance in astronomical terms. So it's heading away from the sun. It was already heading away from the sun when it was spotted. So it is a wanderer, which is basically what the word planet means, planetos in Greek, which is what it means. But this is not a planet in orbit around the Earth. It's a wanderer through interstellar space that just happens to have passed through the inner solar system by coincidence, apparently. Now, Oumuamua, what is it? Well, from what we know about it, it's an object estimated to be about 1,000 feet long and 100 feet wide. So it's cigar-shaped, which is very unusual for one of these objects. Most asteroids are irregular lumps. They're either circular, or they're potato-shaped, or they're egg-shaped, or sometimes you get like dumbbell effects of when two crash together. But cigar-shaped objects are very rare. Well, you all heard of cigar-shaped objects elsewhere, haven't we? Yes. I'll come to that in a minute. But this is about 1,000 feet long, 100 feet in size, and it's dark red in color, which is, and this is due to variations of light curves. No one's actually photographed it. They indicate it's a highly elongated object, comparable to or greater than the most elongated solar system objects. But size and shape have not been directly observed, as Oumuamua appears as nothing more than a point source of light, even in the most powerful telescopes. But most asteroids are round, irregular lumps, as I said, and also they're colored differently. They tend to be colored gray or black. Now, what's interesting is Oumuamua showed no signs of a comet tail. As I say, I should point out that the red color is not necessarily suspicious in terms of it might not be natural, because there are some objects in the outer solar system that are dark red. There's some things such as the planet Eris and Sedna. These are things that are very far out, and it could be due to exposure to cosmic radiation of a type that you don't get on the inner solar system, which is why objects from beyond the solar system are actually dark red in color. But unless the Earth is flat, of course, and all this is fake. No, Ben, I'm not going there. No. Now that's one subject. If we stop and start circling that like a shark, the shark will never swim away. But the Oumuamua showed no signs of a comet tail, despite its close approach to the sun. Now, this is an important point. But it has since undergone a non-gravitational acceleration consistent with comet outgassing, and it's moving so fast relative to the sun, there's no chance of it originating. Yeah, we've gone through that. It's not going to be captured into solar orbit. It's going to leave the solar system and continue traveling through interstellar space. Right, no one knows how long it's been out there. Excuse me. Where it comes from, it's coming from the direction of Vega, which is slightly reminiscent of Carl Sagan's Contact film. Yeah. But when it was actually in the vicinity of Vega, Vega was somewhere else, because the stars are all moving as well. Now, this Oumuamua presented a unique case for science, perhaps more unique than they're willing to admit right now. Once it was unambiguously identified as coming from outside the solar system, a new designation was created for it, interstellar object. And the name Oumuamua, it's actually Hawaiian. They used to name things in the sky after Greek and Roman mythology, but they've basically run out of names. So they've moved on to other mythologies now, or other languages. Hawaiian, it's not a mythological word. Oumuamua means leading scout in Hawaiian. Now, the spelling Oumuamua is not quite correct. I've learned to always include the apostrophe at the start. Now, an apostrophe in Hawaiian is not a punctuation mark. It's actually a letter of the Hawaiian alphabet, and it refers to a glottal stop. So you actually see it in the name of the island of the island Hawaii. There's this punctuation mark between the two I's. So it's not Hawaii, it's Hawaii. if you're going to speak properly, if you're going to speak the Hawaiian properly. Now, someone suggested before they decided to call it Oumuamua that Rama might be a good name, R-A-M-A. And because that is a name given to an alien spacecraft under similar circumstances in the 1973 science fiction novel Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. How many of you read that book? It's a remarkable book. It's one of the most famous science fiction stories ever written, and it's massive award winner. It won the Nebula Award and all the other kinds of awards for science fiction. It's now too far away to be studied in any detail by even the largest ground-based telescopes. And Oumuamua was compared to the fictional alien spacecraft Rama because of its interstellar origin. Now, it's interesting. Rendezvous with Rama is a great book because it's about an alien spacecraft, which is long and thin. It's a cylindrical shaped spacecraft that enters the solar system and flies into the central solar system. And these astronauts go and explore it. They actually break into it and they go inside it. It's really, really good. Really good book. Right. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the Allen Telescope Array, the SETI Institute's Allen Telescope Array, examined Oumuamua. Now, a SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And if you go to the link in the description box, in the description box, you will find a link. You probably, if you're a regular viewer, you'll know it already. That I've done an entire lecture on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence and how it relates to the UFO phenomenon. And so you can actually go and watch that, and it gives you more details of this whole issue. Basically, they're looking for alien life by picking up radio signals from out in the universe. Now, the SETI Institute studied Oumuamua, but detected no unusual radio emissions. And this was continued by the Breakthrough Listen project. Now, the Breakthrough Listen project is amazing. It's a brilliant thing. I'm really glad it's being done. It's the most ambitious and most promising SETI project yet, and it's being organized by and funded by Yuri Milner, who's a Russian oligarch, a ruble millionaire, and he's actually putting up the money to fund it. And they managed to use the Green Bank telescope in Virginia, USA, which is extremely powerful. West Virginia, USA, which is extremely powerful indeed. They searched for all kinds of signals, and none were found. So nothing was found then. So, well, that obviously lends weight to the idea this is just another natural object. Oumuamua entered the solar system from above the plane of the ecliptic. The plane of the ecliptic is where the planets orbit, because they all orbit in the same basic disk. It's a disc-shaped set of orbital tracks where all the planets orbit, or most of the planets orbit in that. And it's sped up. It actually reached 196,200 miles an hour as it was approaching the sun because of the sun's gravitational field. And that's the only thing that can make an object in space speed up. And that's very important because I'll come to that in a minute. It reached the distance, perihelion, that's the closest distance from the sun, 9th of September 2017, 0.255 astronomical units, which astronomical unit is the distance between the Earth and the sun. 23,700,000 miles from the sun. That's how far it was. 17% closer than Mercury's closest approach to the sun. So it must have got a bit of a cooking while it was near there. It must have got burnt slightly. Now heading away from the sun towards Pegasus at an angle of 66 degrees from the direction of its approach. On the outward leg of its journey through the solar system, Oumuamua passed below the orbit of the Earth on the 14th of October at a distance of approximately 0.1616 AU, 15,020,000 miles from the Earth. All right, so it went back above the ecliptic on the 16th of October and passed above the orbit of Mars 1st of November. It passed above Jupiter's orbit in May 2018. So it's beyond Jupiter's orbit now. It'll pass beyond Saturn's orbit in January 2019. So it's moving very quickly. It's basically moved from the orbit where Jupiter orbits to where Saturn orbits in less than a year. That's how fast it's going. There's no spacecraft we could build outside the secret space program which could do that. And it's actually going to reach the orbit of Neptune, the outermost major planet, in 2022. just 4 years away. So that's very, very interesting indeed. So that's basically where it's going now. That's where it is. Where it comes from, no one knows. It didn't come from Vega. There's a star in the Lyra constellation. But 100 years ago, the asteroid was 561 AU, or 52.1 billion miles from the Sun, traveling at 38 miles per second with respect to the Sun. This interstellar speed is very close to the mean motion of material in the Milky Way, in the neighborhood of the Sun, also known as the local standard of rest, and especially close to the mean motion of a relatively close group of M dwarf stars. This velocity profile indicates an extrasolar origin, but appears to rule out the closest dozen stars. In fact, the strong correlation between Oumuamua's velocity and the local standard of rest might mean that it has circulated the Milky Way several times and thus may have originated from an entirely different part of the galaxy. Ooh, it ain't from round here, boy. Now, no one knows how long it's been flying around. It could have been for ages, billions of years. It may have been ejected from a stellar system somewhere. No one knows where. It could have been ejected from a white dwarf system. Excuse me. 1.3 million years ago, it passed within a distance of 0.16 parsecs, that's 0.52 light years, of the nearby star TYC 4742 10271. That's a catchy little name. Is that in your horoscope? But its velocity was too high for it to have originated from that star. It probably just passed through the system's Oort cloud at the speed of 230,000 miles per hour. The Oort cloud is basically where comets come from. It's at the very edge of the solar system. There's a huge cloud of objects that maybe a light year wide, where comets come from. Oumuamua could be a fragment of a tidally disrupted planet, as a planet was ripped apart by gravitational forces of other planets, which makes it very unique. Now, this is where it gets really, really weird. Okay, on the 27th of June, 2018, astronomers reported that Oumuamua is a mildly active comet and not an asteroid, as they previously thought. This was determined by measuring the non-gravitational boost to Oumuamua's acceleration consistent with comet outgassing. Now, what that means is they've seen it accelerating. It's actually changing velocity. And the only explanation that frankly does not involve mentioning little green men is that it is actually a comet and it's outgassing. So, because technically this shouldn't be possible. An object can, you know Newton's laws, don't you? It's one of the things you learn in school. Oumuamua is speeding up. It's accelerating faster. The term acceleration in astronomy means both faster and slower. It's a bit weird, that. But an object cannot accelerate in space unless a force is acting on it. Indeed, any object anywhere cannot accelerate at all unless a force acts on it to change that. One of those things in an object in space is if it enters a gravitational field. This is called the slingshot effect. We saw this when the object was coming down towards the sun. It's like falling in the gravitational field. So that's an idea, or that's an example of acceleration in a gravitational field. If you jump off a tall building, then the last thing you do before you go splat is you accelerate within a gravitational field. And it can only slow down, again, this is termed acceleration, due to some force acting on it to slow its speed. And this would be friction with, say, friction with some kind of medium which just stops it, which slows it down, which could be a planetary atmosphere. An example of this would be spacecraft which come in to land from the International Space Station. They can't land at that speed because they're going so fast. They're going at 17,000 miles an hour. They have to slow down. They don't have any rockets to slow them down. They use the Earth's atmosphere to slow themselves down. And that's an example of acceleration due to friction from a planetary atmosphere. There's only one exception to that rule, and that is something with its own propulsion system, a spacecraft. Right. Now, when Oumuamua first hit the news, it did come out. It was tabled whether this could be an artificial object, because it reminded many people. Indeed, I thought of this even before it came on the news. This is like Rendezvous with Rama. It seems very similar to that. And there's now. You might think, well, that's the end of it. And I believe I would have thought what happened was, as I said, the Breakthrough Listen program, the SETI Institute, the SETI movement, got to work examining it. They did get their telescopes and they examined it. The object was totally silent, no radio emissions at all during the entire study. So that's the end of it. It's a natural object. It's not. If it was a spacecraft, it might be radiating. If it was radiating signals, radio signals, that would be a sign it was an artificial object of some kind. When Sputnik, the first artificial satellite that humans put in space, was sent up, it was programmed to release, to beep, little beep, 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 beep. You hear that on the Sputnik program on RT, just to tell people on the ground it was there, that it got up into space. That was its primary purpose, to prove that it could be done. So if there'd been some emission from it, we know it was some kind of object, some kind of artificial object. There was nothing there. Now, as far as mainstream astronomists are concerned, that's the end of it. As far as the SETI Institute was concerned, that's the end of it. And as far as I was concerned, that was the end of it too. But then, now Oumuamua is speeding up, it might be worth repeating the observation. And if anyone from the SETI movement is watching this, or from Breakthrough Listen or any of these other projects, do repeat that study. They probably already thought of this. Someone will do it, I'm sure. There's so many telescopes out there. Someone is going to repeat the observations that were done by Breakthrough Listen originally. You might think, well, because it could be, the fact it's speeding up might mean it's a spacecraft that's been in standby mode previously, like when you leave your TV on at night and it goes into standby mode, which could be what happened, and now it's sort of switched on. That actually happened in Rendezvous with Rama. It also happened in another of Clarke's stories. This was a novel, a more recent novel called Fountains of Paradise. It's a bit like Rendezvous with Rama, because this is where the Earth is visited by this unmanned craft, or should I say unaliened craft, a probe called Starglider. It's from an extraterrestrial civilization, and it behaves in a very similar manner to Oumuamua. Now, according to the astronauts, the most likely reason, in fact, they're declaring it a certainty that Oumuamua is accelerating, is because it's really a comet. And now comets do, this is important, this outgassing, comets do change speed and course. So if it was a comet, that would explain that. It could explain that, because comets change speed, they change course at times because of this outgassing process. Now, outgassing is where ice inside the comet melts and evaporates. What happens is the comet is out in the Oort cloud, where it's very cold and it's a mixture of ice and rock. Then it comes into the inner solar system on a journey that can take millions of years. And when it gets to the center of the solar system, that the warm space around the sun, that's the solar, where solar heat warms it up, that ice melts and eventually evaporates. It turns into water and steam jets that burst out through the object's surface, and these act like rockets. This is what the coma is. This is why you see this tail behind the comet lighting up the night sky. It's made of this kind of material. Now, the certainty of that solution, it does vary a bit about what media spot you go to, because if you go to the Evening Standard, they have this amazing headline: NASA scientists are baffled by Oumuamua unexpectedly speeding up. If you go to Astronomy magazine, they take a very conservative stance. They just say, speeding interstellar object, Oumuamua, is a comet and not an asteroid. They just say it as it's now. They state it as an absolute certainty. But if this is an important point, because I looked into comets and what makes them and how they tick and things like that. If it was a comet, would it not have been possible to identify it as a comet sooner? Why is it there's this assumption that it is a comet now? It's only been made now. It is an assumption that it's a comet because it is speeding up. It's frankly, like I said, the only explanation that does not involve going into forbidden territory. And it is odd that this comet has suddenly started outgassing now that it's heading away from the sun. It's already more distant than Jupiter. Now, comets usually begin this as they approach the sun, so that they approach, the tails get longer and brighter. And sometimes the Earth's orbit passes through these tails, and we get meteor showers. And as comets then fly away, they leave behind the hot vicinity of solar space, and then the remaining water inside them freezes, and this outgassing stops, and it doesn't start again until the comet comes back through its orbit. Could be millions of years, could be hundreds of years, dozens of years, whatever. I mean, Halley's comet, I think, is 86 years. That's an 86-year orbit, and then it starts again. So why did Oumuamua not outgas when it was closer to the sun? Then we could have seen it. We'd have been obvious. It'd be near the sun. We could see it lighting up the night sky with this magnificent interstellar tail. But instead, it just was completely and utterly inert. No one even saw it until it had gone past about the Earth. So this begs the question: is this comet gas, or did someone just hit the gas? Now, I do think there should be another look at Oumuamua. I'm not in a position to do that myself. I don't have a radio telescope. I've spoken to a couple of people, just sent them emails. Well, obviously, they must get emails from nutters like me all the time. So that's an interesting possibility. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, Ben, maybe they have, and it's been covered up. The men in black have come along and they've shut it all down. So perhaps it's radiating radio frequencies, but the men in black have come along and they've said, stop that right now. You're not going to publish any of that material. Well, as I explained in my SETI video, that's not possible. I don't believe that a cover-up is possible when it comes to astronomy. Astronomy is the one truly democratic science. All the data is above our heads. There are thousands of big telescopes in the world, not just them, but there's the amateurs, the amateur astronomers, millions of them all over the world. You can't cover things up in space. There's another reason why Nibiru doesn't exist. Or if it does exist, it's a very long way away and it's not going to bother the Earth for thousands of years. So I don't think there'd be any cover-up. This is why I'm really, really keen to see. If you watch my SETI video, you'll understand. I say more about the possibility of cover-up and things like that relating to SETI. And I don't think it's possible. It's possible to cover up UFOs, things to do with UFOs, but not things to do with astronomy. Now, obviously, what would be nice is if we could have like a hypothetical space mission. Now, Oumuamua apparently is traveling too fast for any existing spacecraft to reach it. There's feasibility for a mission to Oumuamua for the Initiative for Interstellar Studies, I4IS. Several options for sending a spacecraft to Oumuamua within the time frame of 5 to 10 years. One option is using first a Jupiter flyby, followed by a close solar flyby at 3 solar radii. More advanced options using solar, laser electric, and laser cell propulsion based on breakthrough starshot technology have also been considered. The challenge is to get to the asteroid in a reasonable amount of time, and so at a reasonable distance from Earth, and yet be able to gain useful scientific information. Because, like I said, it's a long way. It's going very fast. It's already a long way away. So there's a massive amount of catching up to do. So the further it gets away, the harder it is to catch up. Even preparing and designing a mission could take a couple of decades. By the time the rocket gets off the ground, it's going to be all that way away, and the rocket's got to go very fast to catch it up. It's said that decelerating the spacecraft at Oumuamua will be highly desirable due to the minimal science returns from a hypervelocity encounter. That means a quick flyby would be no good. It'd be better to actually land something on there. If the investigative craft goes too fast, it would not be able to get into orbit or land on the asteroid and fly past it. The authors conclude that although challenging, an encounter mission will be feasible using near-term technology. Astronomers estimate that several interstellar objects similar to Oumuamua pass inside the orbit of the Earth each year. Around 10,000 are passing inside the orbit of Neptune on any given day. If correct, this provides possible opportunities for future studies of interstellar objects, although with the current space technology, close visits and orbital missions are impossible due to their high speed. Yeah, but with Rendezvous of Rama, the only reason these astronauts managed to get on board this alien spacecraft was because they happened to be out in space at the time. So it's that kind of thing. But it's a very interesting story, actually, Rendezvous with Oumuamua. Do read it if you haven't already. So, of course, this all leaves out the secret space program. Now, I'm sure in the secret space program, they've already sent a saucer up there, like Haunabu or something, and it's landed on there. And they know now if it's a UFO or not. And, of course, when it comes to space missions, of course, they could fake that. They could easily fake the returns from that, definitely. But that's the situation we're in right now. So I was just wondering how things are going in the chat box. So I'll just go back to the top of the chat box, and I'll take your questions and comments. Okay. Hi, Tina. Tina's there. A wow signal. Now you mentioned the wow signal, Tina. I cover that in my SETI video. So have a look at my SETI video. You'll find it very interesting. Oh, who have we here? Craig MK. Hi, Craig. Moo. Neptune. Panmo Radio is great. Get him on speaker. Thanks, Neptune Returns. Neptune Returns just advertised a Panmo Radio. That's really cool. Now, if you're interested actually in the, I was going to say, like, I haven't had time. I won't have time this week to do a live stream on the QAnon video, the new QAnon Save the World program. But I did cover it on the last Third Rail. So if you go to her Panmo Radio, so my nose is itching. Always happens when I talk. You'll be able to see. You'll actually be able to see or listen to my take on the QAnon video, and that's Third Rail Radio program 38. Okay, so if Neptune Returns hasn't posted a link, I'll post one in a minute. On Spreaker, that's right. Yeah. Hi, Ian. Ian Bennett's there. Craig would fit in a backpack. What's that? Craig, it's been covered up, I think. No many secret payloads into orbit recently. I don't think that anything to do with the Oumuamua could be covered up. There's just too many telescopes out there. Space missions are another matter, like things on Mars. You know, you may see in the Rich Planet programs on Mars and the various probes on Mars. There's evidence to suggest those are covered up. And I think it's quite feasible. Unite Planet. Hey, Unite Planet. Go to Unite Planet's channel because there's some new videos just been put up with me in. Yeah, a bit of ego surfing now. Go there, go to Unite Planet, and you'll see some new videos with me in. I haven't posted. I've been meaning to post links in her Panmo voice, and I haven't been able to. Sorry about that, but I will do pretty soon. Okay. I'll remember to do that. I just had other things to do. Lance Hauser, hello, Lance Hauser. It's a good story, yeah. The Rendezvous with Ram is brilliant. It really is, and so is Fountains of Paradise by Arthur C. Clarke. Rama is the call sign for U.S. Air Force B-1 bombers. That's right. Now, Jackdaw, those are the ones Andrew Johnson talks about that may have a free energy propulsion system, electrogravitic. We don't know. Yeah. John Barry, I'm reading that alien interview book at the moment. It's quite interesting. Which one's that, John? Because I know that if you mean the video, the alien interview video, I've talked about that before. I've covered that on other videos, and I've done a report on it. And I had the guy who deals with it is falling out with me, but Victor Nevada, the guy who deals with it, is very interesting. Is there a book about it, John? I've not seen that. I know there's a documentary. Victor Nevada himself has made some documentaries, and it's a bloody shame he's gone and fallen out with me. It really is. But that's the truth movement at the moment. That's the conspiracy right now. Infighting matters more than anything else to most people now. So you just got to face it. Where is Diego Rivera? Oh, that's right. Where? Well, he may have joined a bit late. I'll just go and see as I scroll down these messages. But normally he's here making comments about the British Bigfoot and about my support for Trump and things like that. But he or she is not here, so it's a bit strange. Emperor Mong. Hello, Emperor Mong. And Lee. Hi, Lee. And DJ Butu, welcome. Tom Tremaine, I stick by what I said about UFOs and no conclusive probes and photos. You tried to answer, but it was a fudge. How about all those abductees and no photos there either? Right, well, what can I say, Tom, except you're wrong? That's the quickest answer to that. I can answer your questions, but it'll be a very, very long discussion. It's not a fudge, it's simply question of brevity. But I mean, I could tell you many occasions why this phenomena has to be true. There's no other explanation that these things have to be real. Okay, there are lots of photos. There's lots of documentary evidence. There's lots of eyewitness testimony. There's lots of other forms of evidence. It's massive. You should see the dossiers that have been created by people. Really. Lance Hauser, a bit unconventional, but is the origin of it remote viewable? Yes, I imagine it is, Lance. I mean, I don't know if anyone's actually remote viewed it. I mean, I don't know any. Tony Topping could do remote viewing. I'll ask him if he's remote viewed it. Tom Tremaine, you've just read out a load of crap. You have no original ideas. I unsubscribed, by the way. Well, bye, Tom. So long. I won't miss you. And, well, I don't think I've read out a load of crap. I've explained exactly why I think what I've read out is true. Okay? Emperor Vega was in Street Fighter. Oh, my goodness me. God blimey, Emperor Mong. My dad used to play that when he was a kid. I remember that. Yeah, Vega was he was the badass one. He was the second round one, wasn't he? Rather than those sort of wimpy ones you get in the first round. Take photos while you're being abducted. Neptune returns, says, yeah. Selfie with the grey. Craig, I filmed 2 in January for over a minute in daylight. I swear nothing was visible in my footage. It was though they weren't there. The first black triangle followed by wobbly donut. Well, have you put them on YouTube, Craig? I think you did, didn't you? Craig, did I actually look at your videos? I think you sent me links. Someone did. I think it was you. Tom Tremaine, despite the fact he has subscribed, he's still there. Funny, isn't it, Craig? Reason nothing came out is there was nothing there. No. Sometimes these things do not appear. They can mess with electronics, especially in the age of digital things. Sometimes these things break down. I mean, and Tom Tremaine says, all you patsies are being duped. The UFO community is money making with this retard like this Ben guy doing okay out of it. Oh, really, Tom, is it? Well, firstly, if you want to, I advertise my movements in advance. So if you want to come and maybe you'd like to come and meet me at one of my conferences I go to, because incidentally, I don't get paid to go to these conferences. I get my expenses back. That's all. And maybe you could stand in front of me and call me a retard to my face. Do you want to do that? Don't think you will you? You'd rather just do it on the internet, like all these other little trolls. Olivia Nurtenbaum. Olivia. Oh, is that actress, isn't it? Jack Dawn. Nick Pope is an MOD shill. Fact. Well, I used to give Nick Pope the benefit of the doubt, Jack, but the doubt is getting pretty thin now. Yeah, I'm going to Newcastle, Craig. I will be heading there. I'm not keen on Pope either. Feels fake and dramatic, like a bookseller these days. Well, he's acting stranger and stranger every day. I think his distance geographically from Britain, the fact he lives in Arizona, USA now, has made him bolder. And he is very. I don't trust him. I don't think he's being honest. Any fool can read out internet articles and media extracts. All right, Tom. And Craig, get some pictures of these, if you can. Newcastle was okay. There's definitely something wrong about not being able to digitally capture. All right, well, I'm heading for Newcastle on Wednesday, so I'll look into all this. They're on the inside of your retina, really? Or mind's eye? Maybe there was nothing there, but it wasn't a UFO spaceship because they're not visiting us. Fact. Yes, they are. Fact. Okay, Emperor Mong. Sorry, Tom Tremaine. Yes, they are, and I've explained why. Ben's got wood, says Emperor Mong. Oh, really? How do you know, Emperor Mong? You're not spying on me, are you? Everyone's got phones and cameras these days. Best footage is still total rubbish. Well, come off it, Tom. The thing about it is, if the footage is too good, you skeptics will say it's photoshopped. If it's too bad, you'll just say, oh, it's just a blob in the sky. So you can't win. And the problem is there is a signal-to-noise ratio problem now when it comes to imagery, because the fact that not only everyone has phones and cameras, but everyone also has the ability to create artificial images very, very efficiently, very believably. And that's a big problem now. Oh, what have we got here? Same thing as ghosts. Oh, Tom Tremaine saying ghosts. They don't exist either. It's fucking pathetic and designed to keep people's minds off the real issue in the world. Tom Tremaine, are you Beats Art by any chance? This is completely false, Tom. Again, I could go through this with you, but you could just go to my channel and just look at the videos. And everyone else in the chat box who watches regularly knows this. You're just saying these things. And Tom, it wasn't Neptune. You're an absolutist, Tom Tremaine. Yes, Neptune says exactly. You're just saying these things. They mean nothing. Oh, Craig, Tom, you'll only realise when it happens to you. Okay, fair enough, Craig. Craig wouldn't bother with him, to be honest. I don't think he's going to get anywhere. And he says he's unsubscribed, but he's still here. He's still here. Why would you film something and then send it to someone without looking at yourself? It doesn't make sense, he says, Tom Tremaine. Everyone's got camera phones. All right. All I'd say is, dislike squad, please mount up and thumbs down on this live stream. That is really childish, Tom. That really is. You know, this thumb down thing, okay? That is utterly juvenile. Only little. That's another thing that trolls do. They just go gang up and dislike videos because they know that YouTube's algorithms knock it down if it's got lots of dislikes on, and that's really, really. I would never do that to anyone's videos, even my worst enemy, even people I thought were talking utter shit. I would never ever have a thumbs down attack on them. I really wouldn't. Don't bother with him, Craig. TK, hey TK, how are you? Let's send this retard a message, hit the dislike. Okay. I'm going to get rid of him. How do I get rid of this git? Right. Remove. Hide user on this channel. Okay, I've got rid of him. So Tom is now gone, which is nice. I've had enough of that. So, Lance, how's it? Annoys me that footage. Dangerous Dan. Hi, Dangerous Dan. I got beamed up once, and it was a big foot flying the UFO. Really? Well, you know, Dangerous Dan, there's been several incidences where Bigfoot-like creatures have been seen in association with UFOs, especially their Presque Isle sighting of 1965, where an object landed. This was in Pennsylvania, USA, and and this craft landed. These people in a car saw it. They were on a beach on the Great Lakes, and a Bigfoot-like creature came out of the woods. And it's odd that the two things happen at the same time. Okay, where are we? I'm in the garage, says TK. Okay. Tina Silver says, calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Please, interstellar policeman. Roger Southscaver. Hi, fellow Ben and fellow tinfoil hats. Yeah. All right, where are we? TK says, I like to listen to Ben, the Herpanmo, in the garage in case the FBI are watching. Well, they might have cameras in your garage too, TK. You never know that. NASA gas. NASA gas smells horrible, doesn't it, Lance? Jackdaw says, Chris French is a fraud. Now, actually, I quite like Chris French. And if you go to my previous videos I've done, I actually spoke at the ASAP Seriously Suspicious conference, and Chris French organised that. He's actually quite a nice chap. I got to sort of talk to him, and he's all right, actually. I think he's wrong, totally wrong, but he's honest. I think he's honest. I'm just going to get some more drink. One moment. Just get some more of this stuff here. It's really hot in here, actually. It's been bloody hot today. Do you see where I caught the? You can see where I caught the sun. Look, I wear a hat when I'm out, and so you can see kind of I've got this. The top of my head is white, and the rest of me's tanned. Right. Okay. This is what I use, by the way, to cover up my water jug. David Icke. Yay. Get some positive energy into that water. Lee, I married a monster from outer space. Ooh, sounds interesting. Is the movement? Oh, whoops. Right. Yeah, Tom, if you can't, yeah, Tom, Ben Grizzly says, if you're not interested, leave. Well, Tom has left. I've shown him the door Ben, and he keeps saying he's unsubscribed and he keeps posting more stuff. I don't know why that is. 1 second, I've just spilled some water. Oh, hang on. Oh. 1 sec, guys. Just mopping water off my keyboard. Right. Okay. How much is a telescope, says Tina? Well, if you want to get a really good one, they're pretty expensive. They really are, Tina. But you can use a binoculars, just simple binoculars, to see quite a lot in space. Get some cheap ones online. Yeah, get some cheap ones secondhand. Brian Cox is a fake, says Jack Doyle. Yes, well, I agree with that. He doesn't realise it, though. He's just got too much ego. 70 years, there's a 40-mile thing going to hit, they say, says Lee. Right, Lee, in that case, why is it not visible? Something that big that's going to hit that soon would probably be visible. It's possible. I mean, obviously, 40 miles, how big? Well, maybe not. Maybe if not 70 years. I mean, there's reports of several asteroids that might threaten the Earth in 100 years' time or so. But yeah, it's possible. Actually, it's possible a 40-mile thing in 70 years wouldn't actually be visible. It depends how fast it's going. But if it's in orbit, it would probably be visible. Maybe they have seen it, but hopefully by then they'll have found some way to get rid of it. Right. Remote view it. Well, if Tony Toppin might be able to remote view it. I don't know. Does anyone else know anyone who does remote viewing? A tractor beam, says Emperor Mole. Well, you've been watching too much Star Wars. Right, Lance Houses. Where are we? Oh, Bumbleina. Hello, Bumbleina. Is there an update on when Capel Green is out? Many thanks. Right, Capel Green is late, I know, but this is not unusual in the movie industry. Okay, where are we? So actually, I'll come back to you in a minute, actually, Bumbleina, because I've lost my place. So I'm going to have to go back up because I lost my place. I will come back to you. The problem with this damn chat is you get like, it just, something happens and suddenly it just flips and you lose track of where you are. I don't know why it does that. It's annoying, that. So I've got to go back up. Where are we? Tractor beam, that's it. Alpha Tango NSA SIG int operative, so Discord Snowden. All right, is that something to do with Craig? Is that something to do with the QAnon thing? Emperor Mon, get Diane Abbott to suck it back to Earth with her vacuous policies. Now that would work, wouldn't it? Problem is, as soon as it landed and the aliens got out, she'd say they're a bunch of racists. Hello, doublespeak. Okay. Don't worry, Tom Tremaine's gone now. Don't worry, guys. Thanks for everyone who stuck up for me against Tom Tremaine. I know who Tom Tremaine is. He's one of the trolls. And he's gone now. Got rid of him. Wow, the list of senators not keeping their seats is stunning. Yeah, I mean, Tina, according to QAnon, there's going to be a big, like, a wave of arrests. But I'm going to do a separate live stream on that, I think, or something similar. I've already covered it on Third Rail, so check out Panmo Radio. Diego Rivera Junior Velasquez. Hello. I was wondering where you were. Lance Hauser, why don't satellite dishes point upwards? They do, but it depends whether they sometimes point in an angle. It depends where the satellite is. Hi, Jason. Getting better out of hospital. I'm glad. Are you all right, Jason? Because are you Jason? I think it's but you're all right. I'm glad you're getting well. Bill O'Ryan said something about Oumuamua. That's I'm interested to hear what they have to say, Tina, because I remember when Comet Elenin came through, there was a big hoo-ha about it in the like the conspirasphere, and I didn't think there was anything. I know that Richard Hoagland made a big fuss about it. I didn't. This was back in 2011, I think. I didn't really think there was much really to be concerned about. It's the fuss about Comet Elenin came from. It was basically a reference to a movie, but it was only named after the discoverer. I didn't see anything really about Comet Elenin to make a big fuss about, but I know there was a lot of people doing live streams about it and all kinds of things like that, saying how important it was, etc., etc. I didn't see that myself. To me, Oumuamua is far more significant because it's based on its behavior, based on its properties. It's a far more significant thing. Right. GJ Booter says, check out the Expanse, Ben. You might like it as it deals with first contact. Expanse, is that a TV series or something? Was that a movie? I've got to go back to the cinema at some point and do another movie review, actually. Elaine, Diogo Rivera, are aliens telepathic? Yeah, well, aliens do seem to communicate without words. It seems to be like more like thoughts in your head and voices in your head and things. That seems to be their method of communication. Emperor Mong says, Tom, that's how Tom fuck. Yeah. Emperor Mong says, it's the wrong shape apparently, it needs to be investigated immediately. Yeah. We should cut off all aid to the third world immediately and design high performance craft with the savings. Well, it wouldn't be enough, probably, Emperor Mong. But of course, the secret space program is the solution, because they probably already landed something on there. If the technology from the secret space program, I mean, you wouldn't need aid for the third world, because what we call the third world now, it would have enough technology, it would have enough resources with fresh water and things like that to eliminate all its poverty. I've covered that on previous videos, my energy politics ones. DJ Beach, I'm telepathic and I predict Diego Rivera will mention Bigfoot. Oh my God. He's right. My goodness me. How did you do it, DJ? I think that's proof, all right, isn't it? Are you talking about shooting or load in space? Diego Rivera, really? Well, I'm trying to think of a witty reply to that. Something to do with porn movies and the International Space Station. I can't think of a joke to make about it. Okay, where are we? You could boot Vega when he's... Oh, right. Oh, you're talking about Street Fighter again, yeah. Oh, and to Craig. Well, it's interesting. You get as much evidence as you can, Craig, for that. Will the English Bigfoot play for the World Cup in England? Playing the World Cup for England? I don't know, actually. You could... that'll be useful, wouldn't it? Yeah. Arizona Sunshine has boiled Nick Pope's brain. Well, I've got a feeling he's... well, it's... Some of the things he's done recently make me think he's actually very crafty. He's been very crafty, actually. Tink123. Hello. What do you think of keeping Melanie Shaw locked up past her release date? That's bloody awful, that is. Yeah, and that's a big subject. But I think her testimony is dangerous, Melanie Shaw. This has been going on for years. I went on a Melanie Shaw protest in Nottingham during the time when I was with Sue Stain. Yeah, it was dodgy as hell what they did to her. It really is. Right. Lance Hauser. Ben, are there any talks coming up? I'm in the Midlands. Don't know if Miles, etc., is doing another thing later this year further south. I don't know. Miles will probably... I don't think he's got anything planned. There's nothing in my diary I see. There may be some things. I mean, of course, there's a thing in Newcastle. That's next week. But in the Midlands, I'm not sure. There will be something. There will be something. It'll be announced. Just keep your eye on social media, and you'll see there is Probe. There's Probe coming up now. There's two Probe conferences. There's like two separate Probe teams working independently now, Lance. That's not the Midlands. That's sort of North Country. That's like around Lancashire way, but it's reachable from the Midlands. And there's one. They're both in September. One's on, I think, the second week of this weekend. The other's on the third weekend. There's one in Bolton and one in St Anne's. And I won't be able to go to the St Anne's ones because it's the same day as UFO Truth Magazine conference. I don't know what the hell they thought they were doing booking it the same weekend. I really don't. Because a lot of people who go to Probe now have already got tickets for UFO Truth. So it's including me. But there's the other one in Bolton. I might go to that if I can get the money together. Oh, where are we? Emperor Mong. Notice R.D. Hall has got back into things all space. I don't think his Jill Dando, the little girl police exposure stuff, was very interesting, and his audience fell off. I don't know what his audience figures were. I mean, I'm not sure what they were exactly, Emperor Mong, but he has got back into onto space things. He's done a lot about, in his latest tour, he talks a lot about space, the secret space program, and about space exploration and about faking things in space, in Mars, moon landings, things like that. But the Jill Dando stuff and the Madeleine McCann stuff, I did find interesting personally. I think that that is very, very important information. It's all related. It's all related. It's all about government cover-up, suppression by the mainstream media, etc., etc. So Richard's very right to cover all those things. Richard's a broad church researcher, and he covers both these things. So I'm willing to listen to what he has to say for all of them. Asimov says, please ignore that divvy. Yeah, Tom's gone. A divvy, yeah, he's a DJ BG. People think I'm weird as I have a high-end computer but no mobile and cell phone. Well, that's not. I have a old-fashioned phone myself. He's a yeah. I don't blame you not being one to attract and listen to. Tina Silver says, up at the old Greenham Common Air Base, control tower is now open as a tea room. Really? Good venue to skywatch. Has it, Tina? I mean, I actually went there. I did a video actually about Greenham Common a couple of years ago. I went there, filmed around the place. Saw the control tower was empty when I went there, but I'll have to check that out. Because Greenham Common is an interesting place. It was designated as one of the entrances to the Peasmore base. I found no trace of that myself. But, oh, Alex Fate. Hello. Hi, Alex. My old friend from the Mindset podcast. How are you, Alex? And he thumbed up to balance Tom. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. And Craig, thank you for all the people who thumbed up to just get rid of this damn dislike tag I get sometimes. Richard D. Hall, says Diego Rivera, believes a rock in Wales is similar to the Sphinxes of Egypt. He says it's shaped like a lion, Diego Rivera, and he explains why. The forensic historians actually go into this, and there's reason. There is a reason why he says that, Diego Rivera. Okay, he doesn't just look at this rock and think, "How are you? That looks a bit like a lion." Oh, right, that's it, Sphinx in Egypt. No, it's where it is. It's where it's positioned, where it's actually pointing to. Please watch it in a bit more detail. What's the news about Oumuamua, says TK? Well, TK, I went into that at the beginning. I was hoping if you guys want to contribute anything, that'd be really, really cool. Because if you know anything about this, I don't. I think I covered most of it, but if there may be an update on the Oumuamua situation, in which case I'll cover that. Because as I said, there's no way that if they turn the telescopes on this thing, and it turns out it has become active, and it's given off radio signals, there's no way that can be covered up. So we will know that it is an alien spacecraft, which is why this is such an important case. This is why I decided to cover this now. One of the reasons I did this instead of the QAnon thing, and I'll do the QAnon in the future. DJ B2, Kev Baker needs to get a Ben on Freaky Friday. Oh, right, I'd love to be on Freaky Friday. I've been on Kev Baker's show loads of times. I'm on next Tuesday. I'm a regular guest, Kev. I love Kev's brilliant. He does a really good job. I'm on next Tuesday. If you want to listen next Tuesday on TFR, it's 10 p.m. I think, UK time. Craig, what about the cloaked heatwave creatures that remind people of Predator all over the USA? I've not heard of that, Craig. Cloaked heatwave creatures. I don't know. I mean, we've got a very, very intense heat wave at the moment in Britain. That's why it's so hot in here. That's why I've got this strange suntan. But I haven't heard about that. I remember those clowns wandering. Do you remember all those clowns that were wandering around everywhere? That was very weird. Emperor Mong, I watched a documentary about Oumuamua yesterday, but I've forgotten it all. Oh, that's such a shame, Emperor Mong. Hopefully there'll be more information soon. I've got a feeling perhaps the most interesting part of Oumuamua is yet to come. That's what I hope. Ben is a redneck, though. Oh, well, it's kind of like more off. It's more off pink, I think, my neck at the moment. Could have made your bed. Stop looking at my bloody bed. I know it's in a bit of a state, isn't it? Definitely a recon ship. It's sped up. Well, it's some kind of. I don't know whether it's a recon ship or something, whatever it is. But Demon King. By the way, hello, Demon King. But it's something weird because of the way its behavior is not that of a natural object at the moment. Lance Hauser, sorry, different subject, but you looked for secret engines around that village. I can't remember the name at the time. Peasmore, Lance, it's Peasmore. Yeah, apparently some guys there got footage of a triangle there. Can't find footage online. Have you seen it? Is that No, I remember there was someone did capture some kind of UFO out at the church there at Peasmore once. I think it was Matthew Williams. I've not seen that myself, Lance. Bumbleina 77. Right, I've caught up with myself now. Is there any update when Capel Green is coming out? Many thanks. Bumbleina, Capel Green is turning into a much bigger project than was originally thought. I know I'm in touch with the people developing it. It is still in production, and it is actively in production. That's all I can say. It'll be out as soon as possible. It is late, but that's not unusual in the movie industry. Very often the films are finished late. They're finished after when they're supposed to be finished. So be patient, though, Bumbleina. It'll be worth waiting for. It's going to be a brilliant, brilliant film when it comes out. Larry's writing a new book as well. I've had a look at Larry's new book, and it's really good. It really is. Emperor Monk, is that a VHS behind you? No, it's not. I don't have any VHSs. I mean, it's a bit old-fashioned to have VHSs now, Emperor Monk. That's just a box with something in. There ain't no biscuits in the garage. Sorry to hear that, TK. Stephen, hello, Stephen. How are you? Good to hear from you. And I've lost my bloody place again. Why does it keep doing that? What is the damn point? You just go like that, and suddenly it's just all over the place. Oh my God, come on. Sorry, I've got to go back and find out where. Right. Okay, right. I'm back where I was before. Stephen, hello. Diego Rivera, I have heard that aliens smell, they excrete through their skin. Apparently they do, Diego. Well, there's several people describe strange smells coming from aliens, including the most famous one is Whitley Strieber in Communion. He describes the smell of an alien. They smell of poop. He said they smell of cheese. I remember he said what this alien he smelled like cheese. That's what Whitley Strieber said. Woody Back says Oumuamua is going to park up in Earth's atmosphere and only the whales will be able to communicate with it. Oh, right, Woody. Well, if it comes back to Earth's atmosphere, no one's going to pretend it's a comet anymore. I just hope it doesn't lift all the dolphins away and they go, so long and thanks for all the fish. Jamie Fairman. Hello, Jamie. There had to be chlorophyll-based systems that excrete waste through their skin. All right, so chlorophyll, does that mean they photosynthesize, Craig? Tina Silver saw a large fiery comet smash into the Red Sea one night. All right. Stephen, the subject is Oumuamua, that's the interstellar asteroid. The Red Sea's full of iron oxide. All right. Go up a bit. It's a spacecraft cunningly conceals a dinosaur corpse, right, sir. Nigel Studwick, hello. Ben needs to join UKIP like the other guys. Oh, says DJ. Oh, right, like Sargon of Akkad and Paul Joseph Watson and all those other guys. They all went and joined UKIP. I think they all just got drunk one night and went and joined UKIP. But apparently Sargon wasn't accepted. Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, UKIP have got a lot of good things going for them, and they're probably the least phony of the mainstream parties, but I don't quite trust them. I think they will cuck out, I think the phrases they use nowadays, if it comes down to it. Oh, hello, it's Jay. Hey, Jay. I'm sorry to hear what happened to you, mate. Thank you for watching from hospital. I hope get well soon, Jay. I'm sorry to hear you were ill. I heard it was all over Facebook about what happened to you, and sorry you had that problem. I'm glad you're sorted and get home soon. Stephen, what happened to that Abbott woman? She looks like an alien. Which one? Not Diane Abbott. I don't think she looks like any kind of alien. I don't know. She just looks awful. She looks awful and sounds awful. And she is awful. I can't stand her. But if there are any aliens that look like her, well, that's one planet I don't want to go to. Or worse still, ones that behave like her. QAnon, says Craig. QAnon says they're waiting for a journalist to ask the big questions. I agree, but no one has asked him about Q yet. Well, a few people have commented. Apparently, what's her name? The one who's just been sacked for something or other. She mentioned QAnon, I remember, and then she was sacked straight after that. Don't know if there's a connection there. Apparently, it seems to be not connected. Could be a coincidence. I'll think of her name in a minute. Oh, post in chat if you know her name. Roseanne Barr, I said, a very famous person. They want a space force and all the world leaders. Right. Well, the space force thing I did last week, and that is a very important thing. I mean, that's the space force thing could be connected to this. I don't know. Yeah. Diego says, Ben, the Illuminati card game show an asteroid strike. That's right, they do. I don't know, because they've been quite predictive, the Illuminati card games, quite chilling sometimes. Emperor Mong got apparently Emperor Mong, Corbyn and Abbott were an item in the old days, in the 80s when they were both young MPs. They had a fling. I'd have credited Corbyn a bit of taste, quite frankly. Maybe that's why he can't eat. That's one of the reasons he can't sack her. Well, firstly, he can't sack her because she's black and she'll say it's racist. But also, it's probably because of the history between them, you know. Maybe she knows a few secrets about him, and if he got rid of her, she'd go public, you know, like about how big certain things are, and you know, who knows? Who knows what she would say? She's probably got a lot of dirt on him. Lance. Q implied some crazy shit around Freemasonry this week, and it's all about to come out. I'm waiting. Well, I'm really on waiting. What no one knows who QAnon is, who he or she or they are. But I'll say more about that maybe next week. There's a spider. Oh, says Jay. There's loads of spiders in this damn room. They're everywhere. Much more than in my old room. Hi, Claire. Cosmic Claire's there. Thanks for joining us, Claire. Demon King. The ETs are going to beat us in humiliating fashion without even firing a shot. They would, yeah. Well, if they wanted to, they could. That's true. These insects with cameras and microphones in them, a remote control. They could do. There was a spider crawling over my camera lens when I was doing my. I think it was my UFO reply to Dave Cullen video. And I remember everyone thought it was an orb, but it was actually a spider. The Big Midge. Hey, Big Midge. Do you know what happened to the John Irwin story? I don't know much about what's happened, except John's got his book, of course, which I haven't read yet. I'm hoping to pick up a copy on Sunday if it's for sale at the account. He might even be there. I don't know. But I think after he did his interviews, he hasn't said anything more. I don't know if he wants to add any more. But I know he and Mars don't get on now. ETs can poison the water supply, kill off humanity, and take water resources without any resistance. My nose keeps itching when I'm talking. Well, presumably not all the aliens want to do that, otherwise we wouldn't be here. Jay, Richard D. Hall's film. Have you seen Richard's new DVDs? Because they're really good. They really are. They're excellent. Hello, Bronto Max. Who's the new vagina person that presents on Mars Channel? Who's that? I don't know. Mars has got a couple of co-presenters now. I don't know about a vagina person. What's a vagina person? Is that does that mean they're a total, you know? Peasmore, that's it. Yeah. I've got the DVDs actually of Richard's talks because I went to see him live. I actually went a few times to see him live. I think Richard probably suspected I was following around and thought I was with the security services because he tends to think that about people these days. But the truth of the matter is, the only reason I went to 4 of Richard's live shows because people kept inviting me to go with them. They said, Ben, come with me. So I said, all right, it's a nice day out. So I saw Richard's live show 4 times and I brought all his DVDs, his new ones. Tina Silver says, I think the white horse Uffington is actually a cat, not a horse. The stone RDH shows was a cat, not a lion. The Sphinx in Egypt was an Anubis, a jackal. Well, it's funny, like the white horse thing, it's obviously a very abstract image, and some people said it's a bull because it's connected to Taurus. I think it was Graham Hancock. It shows a cat, not a lion. Well, of course, a lion is a large feline, so it's hard to know if it could be a cat or a lion. Well, It's just size that is the difference, and maybe it's just a smaller feline, which just looks bigger because it's a like a large stone monument. And the Sphinx, is that actually because it's said that the body is said to be a lion, because is that body a dog, a jackal, a wild dog? Because they put a human head on it, well, supposedly human. It's got very strange features. Some people say it looks rather like looks like someone from like a black African, rather like the big heads they've got, the Olmec heads they've got in Mexico, which shows that the people from Africa came over to Mexico in prehistoric times. But other people said it looks alien. It's certainly not any of the usual pharaohs. Cosmic Cloud. I thought Oumuamua was the sound the lovelies make when they air cast. That's true, Claire. Oh, correct. There are thousands of reports they're like Bigfoot, but they can't be seen. About 3 feet tall and they're cloaked light. Oh, right. Yeah, there's a planetary dust storm on Mars, apparently. Yeah, this happens every so often, but then maybe wherever they're doing the fake studio may have closed down. I don't know. You're talking about the Sphinx mystery of Robert Temple. I've heard of that. I've not read it. Animal mutilations. Yeah, the animal mutilation thing is quite. Bloody, I've lost my bloody place again. Oh, why do you keep doing this? It just keeps going. See, I've got to go back up now. If for somebody just flicks to the bottom like that. Oh, right. Animal mutilations. Right. That's a scary thing. That's a very scary thing. Matthew Williams is okay, said Lance. But apparently it's wanted to be seen at Peasmore. Yellowstone must be a time. Talk about the Yellowstone supervolcano. Yeah. Diego says, Ben, when is your blow-up alien? Where is your blow-up alien? Does he communicate with you telepathically? He's over there. You see him. And he doesn't communicate with me telepathically, unfortunately. He's not very good conversationally at all, unfortunately. DJ Buto says, Sargon has been accepted. So is Paul, also Milo. So, all right, he has been accepted as a UKIP member. Well, what do they hope to achieve, though, by joining UKIP? Are they going to stand in an election? Are they going to make UKIP a new party or something like that? I don't know. I mean, will UKIP stand for it? I mean, political parties take a certain line, and when there's a tendency in them that they don't like, they tend to resist the people trying to put in change. Emperor Mong, how the fuck can UKIP afford to turn away punters? That's a good point. Oh, yeah. Well, of course, they're paying their membership subs. And Milo will troll the SJWs. It's hilarious, yeah. I mean, I think this will tell whether UKIP will cuck or not. We'll have to wait and see. Tina Silva, it's 57 days since anyone saw Julian Assange. Well, Tina, this is an important point. I think I brought this up on the last live stream, I think. Because there was some talk a couple of months ago, there was talk about him getting out because all the charges against him had been dropped. The whole sexual assault thing in Sweden, that had all been thrown out. Well, it had already been thrown out in court anyway. But the person making the allegation withdrew the complaint. But that is supposedly why Assange was locked up in the first place. So why is he still locked up? Why can't he leave? Or maybe he has left. I mean, did you see Richard D. Hall's thing about Julian Assange, saying that he actually has been going out regularly to do things, going to studios to record for The Simpsons and things like that? So I don't know. He's holed up in his bedroom playing Fortnite. Well, I mean, if I was him, I just imagine what it feels like to be stuck in that embassy. The embassy's just on a couple of floors of that big building in Knightsbridge. It's not that whole building. He's basically living in the equivalent of a small flat and never going out. TK, I heard there's a card about a hospital portal bringing down the New World Order. Well, that I'm sure will be in the next edition, I'm sure, TK, of the Illuminati card game. Hello, Edwardian lady. Hello, welcome. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, it just keeps flicking up. Right. Neptune, so you got to walk the dog. All right, Neptune. Hope the dogs are all right. Thank you for hanging on. I'm sorry I can't do this any later. All right. RDH's fleece-wearing friend blocked me on her Facebook. Is that Andrew Johnson? Why is that Emperor Mong? I mean, the thing is, Andrew will do that sometimes. I mean, what did you say to him? Did you say the Earth was flat or something? Sorenable. Hey, Sorenable. You're off now, Lance. See ya, Lance. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining in with me. DJ Buddha. Check out the Thinkery's latest vid. It's funny. The Thinkery is one of Sargon's channels. Yeah, I'll check that out. Okay. Diego Rivera says, Ben, do you know the riddle of the Sphinx? Oh, is it? What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at midday, and 3 legs in the evening? Well, the answer is a man, because he's on 4 legs when he's a little baby, 2 legs when he's walking normally, and 3 legs means he uses a walking stick. See, it's very crafty. That's an old one, that is. Hancock and Boval are good. I like them. Goonlove, hello, Goonlove. Emperor Monk, yeah, I'd be very fed up if I was Julian Assange. If what they've said about, if his story is true and he really is holed up in that embassy, I'd be going out my nut. And the reason he was stuck in there, we're told, is because he didn't want to go to Guantanamo Bay, because that would have been his next stop, because there was a plan to extradite him to Sweden to face a sexual assault charge from a woman that he knew when he was in Sweden. Apparently, a friend or former friend of his accused him of sexual assault, and the reason he was holed up in the embassy was because he knew that it was a complete excuse just to get him into the US, get him over to the USA so they could put him in Guantanamo Bay. And presumably, perhaps what he thinks is he's better off in that embassy than he is in a cage in Cuba, wearing, day glow orange overalls, which is probably true. But now that what's he scared of now? Because unless he's worried that he might get arrested anyway, despite the fact that this put-up child charge has been dropped. Hello, Barbara Whittle. Hello, Bumbleina. Do you know if Larry Warren had anything telepathic or similar when he was in close proximity to the craft when he was in Rendlesham? Apparently, as far as I know, not Bumbleina, although the guy who did is Jim Peniston, apparently. John Daniel, pity this flat Earth falsehood has become so popular. Yeah, John, it's annoying, and I mean it's surprising, but it really seems to have taken off with a lot of people. And I mean, I don't get annoyed with people who believe in the flat Earth. I've got friends who are flat earthers, and I just debate with them. I explain why I don't agree with them, and I explain why I don't agree with them, and and that's the end of it as far as I'm concerned. Matt, yes, John, that's it. Tina says, I'm sorry, I think he's been renditioned somewhere already. Is that Julian Assange? It could be. I mean, I've not heard from him in a while. Maybe this is going to be, maybe it's all to do with the QAnon thing. Maybe the reason he's gone quiet is something to do with this plan to save the world, if it's true, this plan to save the world by QAnon. I was watching this young woman from Canada on YouTube talking about this video about QAnon and saying basically, she was in tears saying, I hope it's true, because if it's not, we've had it. John Daniel, the extradition order has been dropped. He ought to be able to leave. Yes. The British government police are still going to arrest him. Why? Under what charge, John? That's the question. Yeah. Julian just did not ask for consent every 30 seconds equals right. Well, that's a problem with feminism, I know. But the thing with Assange is the reason I think they persuaded this woman to take out this complaint, I don't know how they did it. I don't know who she is. Assange knew her for about a month. He didn't really know her very well. Was related to the fact that it was just an excuse to get him into custody, so then they could extradite him to the USA. They wanted him for another reason. Hillary's got a contract out for him. Well, Tina, that could be. It could be that that's what he's scared of. He's actually literally scared of someone shooting him when he steps outside of the embassy. That could be it. TK, the flat Earth is a popular idea all around the globe. Yeah. Oh, I think that's the bottom of the quotes now. That's Sweden for you, yeah. Emperor Mon, what happened to part 2 of Phil in the Jungle and Uncle Bungle? What's that, Emperor Mon? Phil in the Jungle. All right. Well, there's no more comments. So, in the park, Phil in the park, in the Uncle Bungle. I don't know what that means. In Oxford, are you talking about? Are you talking about the thing I did with Nick Hayes, Emperor Mon? The is that what you mean? The thing I did with Nick Hayes about the strange beast of Lye Valley? Because I'm going to do a part 2 for that. Yeah, it's not going to be till September, but I'm going to do me and Nick are going to do a follow-up video to that. We've already planned. Okay. Julian will avoid IKEA when he gets out. Yes, I bet he will. I bet he'll never want to drive a Volvo either. He'll never want to do anything related to Sweden again. Okay, guys, if that's the end now. There's nothing more to add. I think we've covered it all. Okay, and so I want to just say thanks to all of you. Do I have a favourite Arthur C. Clarke story? Does that include short stories? I don't know. I thought the Songs of Distant Earth I thought was very good, Ben. Both the novel and the novella. We met in Oxford on your tour, Max. Hey, Max. How you doing? Childhood's End. That was a good one, yeah. That had the reptilians in, Tina. That was funny. Going up to camp in the woods with Phil. Phil. What's that all about? The Beast of Oxford Park. Oh, I think that's what I mean. It's Nick Hayes, and we are going to. We're going to go back there at night time, yeah. But I want to thanks to everybody who's participated in this live stream. It's much appreciated, you guys. There probably won't be another video now till I get back from Newcastle. Okay. But thanks to DJ Pichu, Emperor Mong, Ben Grizzly, Tina Silver, Max Ranger. Night, Tina. Night. And Alex. See you, Alex. Thanks very much. John Daniel. Thank you, John Daniel. And Bombolina, hello. And she asked, do you know when you are back in Rendlesham? I'm not sure, Bombolina. Okay. See you, Jay. Get well soon, Jay. Get home soon. And I'm glad that you can listen to me in hospital. That's really great. But see you soon, Jay. See you at home, Jay. Bye, Emperor Mong. Bye, Ben Grizzly, GJ, and Tina. And behave yourself. Hello, behave yourself. Take care, all of you. And anyone else I haven't mentioned. Bye-bye, Anthony. Bye-bye, Craig. Thank you very much, all of you. And it's been a great live stream. You guys have contributed enormously well. And it's been interesting talking to you. And I'll come back, as I said, it'll be about a week at least until there's another video now. But if you want to know more about QAnon, check out the latest Third Rail on Hapanmo Radio. Bye-bye, Claire. And I'll cover that. I'll probably cover the QAnon thing in the future on another live stream. That's my next plan. Okay. But it's been great as always. I love doing these live streams. They're really good fun. And I look forward to doing more in the future. Yep, Tuesday night DJ. I'll be on Kev Baker Show on TFR. And it's not tomorrow. It's next Tuesday week. Okay, Bumblebee, thanks. It's not tomorrow. It's next Tuesday. I think it's the 10th. Yeah, the 10th. All right. So that's all the comments, and I appreciate all taking the times. Okay, to appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and to comment. And I'm going to end the stream now. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order. Ugh.